Hello, my name is Brian Moncourt Jensen, and these are my thoughts of a movie called Kick-Ass, which came out last month on April 16th. This is my thoughts, is basically like my mini review or whatnot. And it was a good movie. It was a solid movie. I liked it. I felt that the main character, I thought it was a really fun movie. You know, it was a really entertaining, fun, well done, just piece of entertainment. I thought the action was well done. It was well choreographed. You know, I loved it. I liked it a lot. It was really fun. It was entertaining. Everything was well put together. It was well paced. The editing was good. But I have, you know, some problems with that. I felt that some of the editing was a little bit too choppy, and I felt that the movie was emotionally cold and distant. What I mainly loved was that little girl that I don't really forget how to pronounce her name. She was great as Hit Girl. She was amazing. I loved her as Hit Girl. I thought Nicolas Cage was great as Big Daddy. They were just perfect. They stole the movie. Nicolas Cage's Adam West impersonation was awesome. I loved it. They made the movie for me. The guy who played the main character, Kick-Ass, he was pretty good. He was consistent in a lot of scenes. I just felt that he was too nerdy, that he was too geeky to play Kick-Ass. I mean, he's like that in the comic book, but in the comic book, he seemed to have like this undercurrent of this dark side to him. That was really cool. He seemed to have this dark mystique about him, even though he was a geek. So when he became Kick-Ass, it was pretty convincing. So. But in the movie, he was just too geeky, too nerdy. His voice was really annoying, and so when he became Kick-Ass, it wasn't all that convincing. It was good. I liked him, but I felt they could have picked a better actor, a way better actor. I did feel that the movie was emotionally cold. Again, I felt the emotional moments that could have been in the movie were just glossed over, that they were just passed by and rushed. In a comic book, it was seen to have a little bit more of emotional depth to it, at least emotional impact. When the main character, when the main character's mother dies, in the comic book, you can see the sadness. You know, you see him crying while he's like on the computer jerking off or whatnot. You see him crying when he's playing a video game. You see him, his dad crying in the kitchen someplace. There's just a lot of sadness. There's a lot of pain in those moments. So when he became Kick-Ass, you understood the reason behind it. He became Kick-Ass out of his sadness and his despair. In the comic book, he just became Kick-Ass because he just became a superhero because nobody was doing it. You know, and that's not really a good reason. You know, you need a reason to root for a character. You need a reason for the character to do certain things. When a character is taking action, when he's doing something, you need to care about it. You need to root for it. You need to love that character, love that character's journey. You don't even need to like the character. The character can be unlikable, but you have to love his journey. You have to be enthralled by the journey. So in the movie, when there's not really a specific reason to him becoming a superhero, it just feels hollow. The whole experience feels kind of shallow, hollow, and the movie just ends up being a little bit way too cool and too hip. You know, I mean, it's hard to root for a character who does something out of thin air. In the comic book, you understood his reasoning, you were rooting for him and everything like that. Plus the movie kind of played too much into the whole, you know, on what geeks really want in their lives, comic book geeks. You know, in the end, he gets the girl, he gets the hot girl, he gets this, blah, 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 blah. In the comic book, it seemed to be a bit more realistic, where he doesn't get what he wants. He doesn't get the woman of his dreams. He's not the coolest guy in school or anything like that, or he doesn't have everything. In the movie, it seemed like it just played too much into what the fans, maybe what a lot of fans would have wanted the character to have in the comic book. So the comic book was more realistic in that sense. And but again, I did like the movie. I thought it was really daring and entertaining. But I did have one problem though. I had Red Mist. Red Mist. Still an awesome character in the movie. The problem is that in the comic book, the twist was so much better. In the movie, in the comic book, the twist of him being the son of the mob boss was a great twist. It was awesome because he's basically the Judas of the story, and he's still a Judas in the movie. But in the comic book, you don't even know whether he's you didn't know when he betrayed Kick-Ass, it was just like shocking because he was such a cool character. You thought that, okay, this guy's a good guy. He's really cool. He's awesome, down to earth. He's a fun guy. So when he betrays Kick-Ass, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe this. I can't wait for the next issue. In the movie, right from the beginning of the movie, you know that he's the son of the mob boss. So you know he's going to betray Kick-Ass. So whatever they do, it just feels kind of predictable and kind of like, I mean, it's just like you're not even into their friendship. You don't even see their friendship. So when it's taken out, you're not even that like shocked when the friendship is taken away. Because in the comic book, they built up this fake friendship, so you're believing in this friendship. So when he betrays him, it's like, oh my god. In the movie, it's like, whatever, you know. It's still funny. A lot of great moments between Kick-Ass and Red Mist in the movie, but it's whatever. And the ending to Kick-Ass, the movie, was really good, but I still prefer the comic book. Overall, Kick-Ass, the movie, I give it, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. It was a very solid action movie. The violence was good. The acting was consistent, usually consistent throughout. I was a little bit tired from the tedious aesthetics. It seemed to have this orange coloring aesthetic going on, but I liked it. I thought it was fun, it was daring, it was unique, it was great, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. But overall, as a superhero movie, it's not as good as Iron Man. It's not even close to being as good as Spider-Man 2. It's nowhere near as great as Batman Begins or The Dark Knight. Definitely not The Dark Knight. It's barely as good as X-Men 2, but it is better than X-Men. It is better than Daredevil. Well, the theatrical cut of Daredevil, the director's cut of Daredevil is pretty good. It's way better than Catwoman, which most movies are. It's better than Elektra. It's better than probably the first Spider-Man movie. It's better than a lot of other superhero movies. I would even say it's a better Watchmen movie than the actual Watchmen movie from last year. And by that I mean, as a realistic take on superheroes, Kick-Ass is way better than Watchmen. The movie, not the comic book. Watchmen, the graphic novel, is amazing. So, if I had to rank Kick-Ass in the pantheon of great superhero movies, it might be, of good superhero movies, at least, it would probably be in the top 25, maybe top 30, and maybe top 20. But, overall, as a great superhero movie, it's not that great, but it's enjoyable. So, that's my thoughts, though. That's my review of the movie. It's worth seeing again, I guess, and it's worth owning on DVD. This is Brian Moncourt Jensen, signing off.